Okay, so Martin Luther was born somewhere in Germany in 1483. His mom was all about telling bedtime stories about the devil and a judgy God. Parenting at its finest. Martin Luther was in the library one day, and for some reason there was a Bible chained to the wall? Okay. He hadn't seen a Bible before, and when he read it, he knew that human beings are terrible people. Like, the worst. And reading about this kind of stuff kinda made him nervous, because he didn't know how to not be terrible. Sometime later, he walked back home, and he almost got hit by lightning. Kinda like Frankenstein, except instead of becoming a monster, he became a monk. Two very different things, if you didn't know. By the time he was 24, Martin was a priest and a teacher, but he was still scared of God and kind of depressed because he still thought he was terrible and couldn't get salvation. Around 1510, whenever that was, Luther went to Rome and saw that the monks living there were profane and rich, and he was basically like, ew, no. So he went to these magical stairs that Jesus walked on and paid money to go up them. Great deal, nothing % off. But this also made him all like, ew, no. Around this time, things like indulgences made Luther angry at the church. But then this guy named Tetzel enters the scene, and good thing his name rhymes with pretzel, because he is just as twisted as one. He would use shifty techniques to make people buy indulgences, like saying that someone's loved ones were screaming in purgatory. He was a barrel of fun. Luther had to keep reminding his peeps that money can't buy salvation, and that made Tetzel angry. It sounds hilarious, but he threatened to burn people, so maybe not so hilarious. After a while, Luther made this thing called the 95 Theses. It sounds boring, but I guess it was all the rage back then. The bad kind of rage. The archbishop was getting angry because he ain't so tough without the money from indulgences, which, big surprise, weren't selling so well. So last season, am I right? Things were heating up, and there was this 18-day debate between Luther and Dr. Eck. I'm tempted to say Ick, but it's Eck. By the end of the debate, Luther was clearly broken away from the Catholic Church. So then the Pope said, "Stop doing the thing," and he had people burn Martin's books. However, Luther still wrote against the church like a boss. Then there was that whole Diet of Worms deal, and he had to leave. There was a plan to kill him, but oh no, he got kidnapped! Actually, he was fine, and he hid out for a year, with the best disguise ever, I might add, and translated the New Testament. In 1522, Luther came back, and the church had a major change for the better. Later, Luther married and had 6 children, and yay, happily ever after. Except he was kind of constantly being threatened for writing his books. The end!